Night and the early hours of this morning, I had so many messages that I could preach, but the Holy Spirit just gave me this word and said, I want you to speak this word. Psalm chapter number 51, and most of us know it off by heart. This is the prayer of David. And David says, have mercy upon me, O God, according to thy loving kindness. According to the magnitude of thy tender mercies, blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from mine iniquity and cleanse me from my sin. I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sin is ever before me. Against thee, thee only have I sinned and done this evil in thy sight, that thou mightest be justified when thou speakest and be clear when thou judgest. Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. Behold, thou desirest truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden parts thou shalt make me to know wisdom. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. Hide thy face from my sins, and blot out all mine iniquity. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. Cast me not away from thy presence, and take not thy Holy Spirit from me. Restore unto me the joy of thy salvation, and uphold me with a free spirit. Then I will teach transgressors thy way, and sinners shall be converted unto thee. Deliver me from blood guiltiness, O God, thou God of my salvation, and my tongue shall sing aloud of thy righteousness. O Lord, open thou my lips, and my mouth shall show forth thy praise. For thou desirest not sacrifice, else I would give it. Thou delightest not in burnt offerings. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit and a contrite heart. O God, thou wilt not despise. Do good in thy good pleasure unto Zion. Build thou the walls of Jerusalem. Then shalt thou be pleased with the sacrifices of righteousness and burnt offerings and whole burnt offerings. Then shall they offer bullocks upon thine altar. Now Psalms chapter 51 is called the treasure chest of David. It's called the treasure chest of David because David speaks from the inner recesses of his heart. David sinned. David broke God's commandment. David stood in line of eternal judgment. But in the end, God calls David a man after my own heart. What is it about God that he sees in each and every one of us? Beloved, there must come a time in your Christian walk and my Christian walk. Don't play church. Don't come to church out of just fulfilling your obligation. You must come to a point in your faith and your walk with God and ask yourself, how does God see me? If you have not done that, there must come a time in your life to ask yourself, Lord, how do you see me? Is there anything you can hide from God? David says, if I fall into the ocean, you are there with me. If I make my bed in hell, you are there with me. If I ask the mountains to come and cover me, Lord, you are with me. You know my inner thoughts. So God is an all-knowing God. So it's important for every believer to come to this point of reflection. God, what do you think about me? If you have not done that, then you must do that. Because I come to a place of reflection ever so often and I say, God, what is your opinion of me? Because all through the Bible, God had something to say to some people. Now, in spite of what David did, God called him a man after my own heart. Noah got drunk and he slept naked. And his sons came backwards and covered him. With all their shortcoming, God calls Noah a preacher of righteousness. Moses murdered a man. Moses was disobedient to God. At the close of Moses' life, God says, there hath not been a more meeker man upon the face of the earth